This video is geared towards riders who live in California or maybe even southwestern Arizona who've never been to Baja on their motorcycles and are looking for some info on how to approach it for the first time. You can apply most of this information if you live elsewhere and travel to Mexico, but other things I mentioned in this video, like border crossings or roadside attractions, are mostly useful for California riders because I'm focusing mainly on the state of Baja California. I've broken this video down to 5 segments. 1. FMM Form or tourist visa. 2. Enter Mexico. 3. Tolls and Vista Points. 4. Enter back into USA. And 5. Helpful tips. And while I talk a little about each segment, I've detailed a lot of useful information in the video for those of you who feel unsure about riding their motorcycle to Mexico. And hopefully after watching, I earn your thumbs up and a subscription. Thank you for your support in advance. All right, let's get started. There is all sorts of confusion around this subject, and if you feel this doesn't apply to you and you are okay with entering Mexico without a tourist permit, no worries, I have included chapters below, so go ahead and skip to the next segment. Just head down to the description below and pick the segment you're interested in. According to Mexican National Migration Institute called the INM, all U.S. citizens over the age of 2 without a Mexican temporary or permanent resident card need to obtain an FMM tourist permit when entering Mexico, regardless of length or distance of travel. This permit is free if you're staying 7 days or less and can be extended up to 180 days. It costs around $40 for those who travel longer than 7 days. The form needs to be stamped at the border to be valid. I'll include a link below where you can apply for your FMM online, print the form, and take with you to the border crossing to get it stamped. Here's a quick tutorial on how to fill out the form. Since this video is targeted at Southern California riders, I picked the El Chaparral as the point of entry, famously known as the Tijuana border crossing, but you're welcome to pick whatever point of entry you desire. For example, you can pick Otay Mesa or Tecate. Once you complete and download the filled-out FMM form, it should look something similar to this. It is a double-sided PDF, and the border agent will keep one half of the form, and you will carry the other half throughout your travel. I personally prefer printing front and back on the same sheet of paper and present that to the border agent to get stamped. But that's just my personal preference. All right, let's go to the border and get the FMM stamped. When you get to the San Isidro border crossing, simply hug the right lane and aim for the iron gates on the right side. Do not enter the lines that go to Mexico. We will get back to the lines after we finish the stamping part, but first we need to go inside the customs building and see the border agent. Enter through the iron gates, park, grab your passport or passport card and the filled-out FMM form, and enter the building. There are bathrooms and an ATM machine inside the customs building. Disregard the window counters on the left and right. You will have to go to the end of the hallway and through the glass doors. The border agent is sitting on the left side just behind the glass doors. Simply hand him or her your FMM form and passport, present a nice smile, and be prepared to answer questions like, "How long are you staying?" or "What city is your destination?" After the form is stamped, the border agent will tear it in half and hand you the tourist portion. This is your tourist visa. Keep it somewhere safe and have it ready inside of Mexico to present to an officer at an immigration stop upon request. Now we're ready to get in line and cross into Mexico. You can ride through the iron gates and merge into the traffic, waiting to cross into Mexico. During the crossing, your photo will be taken. Wait your turn, watch the light. When it turns green and says go, simply ride through the barrier. Watch for the steel bumps as they tend to slippery at times. Don't hit the brake while you're going over them. As you're riding through the border complex, keep an eye for Mexican border agents that are directing traffic. Most of the time, they just wave you through. This rarely happens, but there have been an occasional inspection, so if that is the case, slowly pull over to the side and follow their instructions. If you are with a group and one of the riders gets picked for an inspection, don't panic. Simply follow the traffic to the end of the complex. At the end, several lanes converge, and all traffic follows an S shape, turn to the right before traffic gets filtered into 3 lanes. Right at that point, when you see the S turn, if you look far to your 3 o'clock, you will see several buses that are parked in their designated parking spot. This is essentially the other side of the immigration complex where you just had your FMM form stamped. Make that sharp right turn into the bus terminal, and this is a good spot for your group to wait for the rider who has fallen behind. There are also bathrooms inside the bus terminal. After you collected everyone, you can continue on the 3 large lanes that separate the traffic. The left 2 lanes go into Tijuana. Ignore those. The very right lane goes towards the beach cities. This is where you want to go. Hug the right lane, ride over the bridge, and follow the traffic onto Highway MX1D, the scenic route south towards Ensenada. Now that you're enjoying the scenic route, keep in mind that you will go through 3 toll plazas. They are pretty straightforward. The agents accept US dollars if you don't have Mexican pesos, and it's only a few dollars to go through. However, it is very important that you pay attention where your tires hit the electromagnetic sensor. Sometimes an agent will put a cone towards the right side of the lane, forcing you to go towards the left side of the lane, where the electromagnetic sensor is laid out. Failing to hit the sensor properly will cause their system to throw an error and force you and your entire group to back out of that lane. It's an unnecessary headache that can be easily avoided by paying attention to the video, which will show you how to pay the toll for multiple motorcycles and how to ride through the plaza without a sensor failure. Your group can wait for you several feet behind the barrier until the last rider has paid and passed the barrier, as shown in the clip. At this point, you've been on the road for a couple of hours, and it is time for a quick pit stop. I would highly recommend this little hidden gem along the highway MX1. It's called El Mirador Salsipuedes, and it's right off the kilometer marker 85. There are adequate parking spaces with an attendant watching your bike. I tend to give him a few pesos for his troubles, and he is very appreciative. This spot has clean bathrooms, a variety of local Mexican snacks from friendly and a bit overbearing street vendors, and it has magnificent views. There are several levels to head up to. Sit down and relax while enjoying a gorgeous view of the Ensenada Bay. You're about 20 minutes from Ensenada, so don't rush to get back on the road. Take in the breathtaking views and the fresh air. Sometimes a cute dolphin sticks his head out to say hello. In this segment, we discuss the most efficient way to cross back into the U.S. I personally prefer the Tecate border crossing as it is less congested and moves rapidly. It also includes a scenic route to get to it, which is Highway 3 that cuts through the wine valley, cleverly named Valle de Guadalupe. I am going to show you the final section of Highway 3 that leads to the border crossing. Simply follow the steps and turns shown in the video. Yes, it is understood that motorcyclists get to cut to the front of the line. That said, there is an unwritten rule and common courtesy to allow the cars to shuffle between bikes. In other words, one car, one bike. Most of the time, the border agents will point this out if they see the rule is not being followed. Once you've completed the border entry, simply follow the road that winds through the complex. I usually pick a spot on the public road to wait for the rest of my group. In this segment, I am going to talk about some of the quirky things in Mexico that sometimes make you scratch your head. Let's start with the stop signs. This is a stop sign. It has the same shape as our own stop sign. My only issue with stop signs in Mexico is that 9 out of 10 times it is posted way off to the side, covered by other signs, trees, or food vendors, and most intersections with stop signs don't have a line for where to stop. You kind of have to guess it and mimic other drivers. So just be mindful of that. They tend to sneak up on you. In short, you don't pump your own gas, they'll do it for you. Pemex is going to be your best friend in Mexico. Although they do have some American gas stations like Chevron, Shell, and BP in larger cities, most of the time you will be looking for a Pemex sign. Pay attention to the arrows on the ground and enter the pump in the right direction. Turn off your bike, open the gas tank, and ask for the red nozzle, which is premium gasoline. At this point, you can start fidgeting in your money bag for pesos while they pump gas in your bike. If you're paying with a card, ask in advance. Otherwise, cash is your best bet. It is common courtesy to tip the attendant a few pesos for the service. For the most part, the traffic laws are similar to the US. There's an unwritten rule amongst Mexican drivers when it comes to passing. You may notice a car or a truck driving on the shoulder with the left blinker on. That is a driver giving you the okay to pass. Large tractor trailers and trucks do this constantly because they sit higher up and can see farther down the road, so they tend to give you the thumbs up to pass as a common courtesy. Appreciate the gesture, put away your California driver mentality, follow the behavior of other drivers, and commit to a clean pass. Here are a few examples of this rule. Well, folks, this is it for now. I hope this video was useful and helped you gain as much information as possible to plan your first ride to Baja. It's been a pleasure putting all of this together, and if there are any additional concerns or questions, feel free to drop me a note in the comments. And if you feel this video was helpful to you, please share it, smash that like button, and consider subscribing for more future motorcycle travel and camping videos. See you in the next one.